Alright, we want to sing all praises be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, was a quantum of greatness on the rule well, and shalom to the sincere brethren. Akim on there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing this good news, this gospel of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and proclaiming the downfall of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, Caucasian as we know him, and his empire, you understand? So basically we living in the end times, man. That's the spirit, man. What you have? The COVID vaccine being pushed, digital currency, everything being digitized. You understand? We living in the fourth and the fifth industrial revolution. You understand? Hey, the brother was just saying Biden, the king of Babylon, is out of his mind, man.
Yeah, I'll send mine like you can't remember.
Alzheimer's, dementia, man. You understand? So the great men of Esau Edom, man, hey, they being brought down, man. The kingdom of Esau Edom is being brought down. You understand? You have Matthew 24?
Matthew 24? Yeah. We won't start off.
Start at 1.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew 24 verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
So that's going into what? That temple was destroyed during what? 70 AD, man, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, man. You know what I mean? And the dispersion, the diaspora, even more so of Israel, man, into Western Africa, man. That's where you get a lot of the West African tribes from, the Igbo, the Yoruba, the Ashanti, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. That they come from what? The dispersion of Israel, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, man, of which the modern day Romans, man, Esau Edom, man, which Esau Edom are the ancient Romans, and the modern day Romans, they come in to destroy Jerusalem once again, man, which Jerusalem is what? A people before is a place, which that people is what? The 12 tribes of Israel, man.
That's right.
So they're coming down upon you Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans once again in these last days and times. Go ahead,
And Yahushua said to them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Verse 3, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what? When shall these things be?
And what should be the partner of the Son of the Times, man?
And what shall be?
Yeah, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming and the end of the world?
So from since ancient times, man, the disciples was looking for what? The end of the world, man. You understand? The end of Esau Edom reign, man, because at that time Esau Edom was reigning the Romans, man. You understand?
I got a precept. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
And how do you measure the times? You measure the times using what? The measuring stick is what? The scriptures, you understand? The prophecies of the scriptures, man. From Genesis to Revelation. That's how you measure the times, man. And that's how we measure the times. Revelation 13:16. The mark of the beast. That's a measurement of the time.
Also, watching the news, man, and when you see uproars and you see things happening in the news, that's a part of biblical prophecy. You marry with the scriptures and bring it out, which is prophecy, man.
You see the racial divisions. You see Esau Edom versus Jacob. Esau Edom versus Jacob. Understand? Which is what? Biblical prophecy of the signs of the end of time. The signs of the end of Esau Edom world. You understand? So we use these things to measure the time.
Also, pestilence, upwards of the people, protesting, famine of the world. These are all part of biblical prophecy, and we should measure the time digitally because these are the things that we ought to look for, you know what I mean? But it reads...
Yeah, and when you go into the word diligent, to be diligent. You're constantly watching.
Kind
You're constantly watching out for what's being said in the Holy Bible, right? And like the other brother said, watching out for the news, and you marry what you see in the news with what our forefathers saw in their vision, which
Right.
they wrote down,
which is scripture.
which is the scriptures. Go ahead, bro.
So it reads, back in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, you got it back, bro. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee, then should thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made.
God, so we see that the Lord's visitation is upon the planet, man. You know what I mean? The pestilence, the biological weapons, the COVID, the coronavirus, man. We see famines, we see plagues, you understand? We see geopolitical moves, man. We see nations getting ready for what? World War III, for military conflict. We see the state of Israel looking to do a military incursion upon the Iranians, which is the Persians, which is not a biblical prophecy. So we see all these things, man. We see these signs of the times, man, that's showing us what, pointing all signs to what? The second coming of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, man.
So it reads back in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse it says 2. Then should thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5.
That's real quick.
All right, verse 5, real quick, while you get that. It says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an ending, and the end is made manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and ending effects and signs.
Can't say earthquakes, pestilence, man. All the chaos and destruction that we've seen in the world, man, is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai causing these things to happen. Why? Because that's the signs of the end of times, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is judging the world, man.
That's right.
Because it is most wicked under the rulership of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, you understand?
Yeah, this is Isaiah 29 verse 6. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire.
That's where it says earthquakes, pestilence, man. You know what I mean? Pestilence is storms, but you also have a biological pestilence, which is coronavirus. And ultimately, what they say, flame of fire that devours, which is the ultimate thermonuclear destruction, man. The ultimate visitation that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to have upon this contemporary world. That flame of fire, man. That thermonuclear destruction. You understand?
Yeah, so what we saw last week down south in Texas, in Austin, Texas, and throughout, Houston, that was all a visitation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
That's
That
right.
was really a sign for the elect to let us know that, look, we're getting closer and closer to the end. We're getting closer and closer to the end of Esau and his kingdom ruling, man. Primarily over here in North America, Babylon the Great. That was an omen, so to speak, a token of things to come. That's just the beginning. That's why it says when you go to Matthew 24 chapter, it speaks about the beginning of sorrows, man. You got it, bro.
So hey, judgments upon judgments is coming, man. You know what I mean? And if you don't have your Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that hedge, hey, you're going to be caught up in one or another of these judgments. Earthquakes, pestilence, man. You know what I mean? Martial law. All these things, man. And ultimately, that nuclear destruction, if you don't have the hedge, hey, you're going to be destroyed. You understand?
Verse 4? Yeah. Matthew 24, verse 4. And Yahushai answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
So take heed that no man deceive you, man. Because Yahushai already knew, man, that hey, there's a lot of false prophets, false doctrines, false ideologies out there, man. You have what? Islam, plantation Christianity, man.
That's right.
You understand? You name it, man. The black woman is God, man. Pan-Africanism. All this madness, man, that you have out there that the 12 tribes of Israel is being deceived by, man. You understand? So Yahushua said, let no man deceive you.
And then you've even got false prophets within Israel. Within the truth, you've got different Israelite camps, and the Lord has set up stumbling blocks amongst the different Israelite camps. And we've got wayward Israelite camps that are teaching false doctrine concerning Bible prophecy. Take for instance, you've got IUIC. They're saying that the mark of the beast isn't the implantable microchip. That's a falsehood, man. Amongst other Israelite camps out there, so you have to understand and discern who are the true prophets, who are the real men of the Lord out here, who are the true servants that are teaching the word the correct way, man. It's us here at Great Millstone, man, beginning with the apostles on down. And how do you know that? Because what we say matches up with the scriptures, man. A lot of these other Israelite camps, they're just completely going off concerning Bible prophecy, man.
Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive.
So many have came under the doctrine, under the doctrine saying, what I am Hamashiach, man, but I am anointed, man. You got what that bugged out Malachi yoke. You know what I mean? You have a lot of these which a lot of these Khazars, man, these Amalekites still believe that they believe that different men, different rabbis are supposed to be Yahweh Shai men. You understand? Well, so hey, the world is under heavy deception. You understand? You know what I mean? Read that again.
Verse 5, Matthew 24, verse 5, and many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
So many come in saying what they are Mashiach, man. You know what I mean? You have Selassie, man. You know what I mean? You have these bugged out Rastas claiming that this guy Selassie is a reincarnation of Yahweh Shai.
Haile Selassie was the Elamite. He's Elam.
Well, some say he's a Cushite, some say he's an Elamite. He's a heathen, same way, man.
But the Asians are there, man.
Yeah, they say he's a they bugged out, man.
Sizzler said that, man. The Asians are there,
But that's the bugged out, that's the world being under heavy delusion, man. That's what Yahweh Shai forewarned us, man. Because you have Jake getting caught up in that, man. And Jake followed these people, these doctrines, these philosophies, these people, these false prophets by the masses, man. You understand? Yeah.
Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and of rumors of wars.
That's more than ever right now, man. During this whole 2020, this coronavirus thing, hey, what you had many nations doing, man. North Korea, China, Russia, they building up what? Their military, their nuclear arsenal, man. Their strategic weaponry, man. The Iranians doing the same thing, man. So you're hearing of wars and rumors of wars, man. You're hearing the state of Israel. The Israelis saying what? Anytime now, they're getting ready to bomb Iran, man. Now, I mean, they're assassinating many of the Iranians' nuclear scientists, man. Which is a provocation of war. You understand? Right?
And shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
God, so seeing all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is not yet, man. So we see we're not troubled, man. You understand? You had the other last year when the United States killed that Iranian general, man. Soleimani. Hey, people was scared, man, because they were saying what World War III is about to happen, man. You understand? And you had that trending on Twitter, and people are scared and stuff. Even when Trump was going against Kim Jong-un, man, North Korea, when I remember that day, man, when it was like a false alarm, man. And that was the Lord in Hawaii, man. When it was like, yo, North Korea just send missiles on Hawaii, man.
But you know what though? That's the prophecy of rumors of wars.
Rumors of wars, man.
Because that's what's happening right now, man. You're gonna have wars. We got wars going on in Syria right now. Perpetual wars going on in Syria. We have a perpetual war, a 20-year war, a perpetual war going on in Afghanistan with American and the Afghan troops. You know what I'm saying, going head to head with each other. Then you got wars over in what you call that again? You got in Lebanon, in Israel, Syria, Pakistan. You have what's going on in Kosovo. So those are the wars, and you got the rumors of wars, man.
Yeah, but the main war we're looking out for is what? World War III.
That's
That's
right.
going to be the war to end all of these wars. The destruction of Babylon, the Great America, man. That's the war that we're really looking out for. The war when America sends their troops out there to the Middle East, man. Right? Out there to the Persian Gulf, full-fledged. Soon to, Joel the 2nd chapter speaks about it. I will far remove the Northern Army from you. I will remove the Northern Army off of you, man.
And the Northern Army is America, man.
Yeah.
And what's happening right now, what you see what's going on right now, it's a build-up, so to speak, to World War III. You got all kind of things happening throughout the four corners of the earth, and then you're going to have these nations that are assembly of great nations that's going to come up against America, man. Because something's going to happen within this the political realm of Esau's government. You know what I mean? When I'm talking about Esau's government, I'm talking about America and Europe. You know what I'm saying? Because Esau controls all that, man. He controls the whole world, man. So something's going to happen, whereas these nations are going to come up against America, and they're going to not regard the payouts that America been paying these people out with. They're going to come for blood, man. And that's going to be thermonuclear destruction. But at the time of the war that's going to be taking place, Yahweh Shai going to crack them skies. What they're going to do, they're going to forget their differences and try to come up against Yahweh Shai, and they're going to lose sorely.
Listen real quick. This is Joel 3 verse 9. Joel 3 verse 9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
And who are these Gentiles that the Most High is speaking about? These are talking about natural born Gentiles, they're heathens, man. Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, you know what I mean? Cushites, so on and so forth. Elamites. I mean, natural born Gentiles, they're natural born heathens. Proclaim ye this. Right? Go ahead.
It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war.
Can't prepare war, man. And like I said, man, over the last year, man, the military spending been through the roof for these different heathen nations, man. Because, hey, everybody jockeying for that top position on the planet, man. Especially nations like China, man, and Russia. They're jockeying for that top position as the world superpower, man. They're trying to overtake America, man. And they ultimately know that in order to ultimately overtake America, they're going to have to what? Take out, man. To nuclear, to military.
And it's going to be an invasion on American side. America never get touched. Remember? The Virgin yet. So it's going to be literally invasion in the time of an EMPR, in the time of a bank circuit. Like the banking go out, then an EMP going to be nations coming off of the water, invading, taking America gold, you know what I mean? Taking stuff, man, and bring it back home, man. Mainly for us still, you know what I mean? Why?
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen, man, because a lot of these nations, they have allies, what? Cuba, Venezuela, man, and they have different naval ships, you know what I mean, docked off the coast of America, man. So at any time they could send troops, send bombs, send missiles upon the soils of America, man. You know what I mean?
It says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near.
So the military's getting ready, man. The militaries of the world is getting ready, man. You know what I mean? Spending this shit roof, man. Iran getting ready. China getting ready more than ever, man. Russia getting ready. You know what I mean? All these nations are getting ready for that great war, that World War III, man. Nations in the Middle East is getting ready. You know what I mean? You have Hezbollah, different proxy armies are getting ready, man. The state of Israel is getting ready, man. Syria, you know what I mean? All these nations are getting Turkey, you know what I mean?
It says, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong.
Can't so, hey, don't worry about your agricultural affairs, man. Put all our money into the military, man. You know what I mean? Let these weak nations, because prior, like 60, 50 years ago, man, nations like China, North Korea, Pakistan, India, those were weak nations, man. You understand? But now they have acquired that nuclear technology, man. They have built up their armies, man. A lot of these nations have million-man armies, man. Millions of men. Millions of men ready for war, man. You understand? That's prophecy. That's prophecy right there, man. You understand?
It says, assemble yourselves, come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Country, like the brother said, man, hey, the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is over there in the Middle East, man, the Levant area, man. You know what I mean? That's gonna be our main staging ground for World War III, man. And you have all the militaries of the world looking to go into them, man. America, Russia, China, Iran, you know what I mean? All these Israel, the state of Israel is already over there in that region, man. So that's gonna be our main epicenter for World War III, man. Our main battleground for World War III, man. Where shit is gonna jump off, man. Understand?
It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
So the Most High is gonna judge them, man. Destroy them, man. You understand? He's gonna have them destroy each other. And then also upon the second return of Yahushai, Yahushai gonna destroy them, man. What's left of them, man. You understand?
I got a precept real quick. This is going into what's going on right now in America. And this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 60. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, which is America. Thermonuclear destruction, country that fly from them chariots, man. Even all these words that are written against Babylon. Now all the words written against Babylon is that assembly of great nations coming against Babylon. Babylon becoming a perpetual waste, a desolation. You know, Babylon being destroyed by fire. You know, it says, then shall, it says.
Yeah, this is how we know that it's not speaking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, it wasn't taken out by fire.
Good.
All right, when you go to the book of Daniel, the 5th chapter, you read about, you know, you read about Darius, the Mede, taking over, who was the king at that time?
Belshazzar.
Belshazzar. All right, that's how, you know, ancient Babylon was taken over. It wasn't by no fire. So this Babylon has to be a new Babylon. So where is this new Babylon? That's the question.
It was just a strategic takedown, a surgical tactical takedown, whereas there wasn't even no war. Because they was all drunk and everything, and they got taken out of power. And that land became a province of the Medo-Persian Empire, and it was not destroyed, man. So it can't be talking about ancient Babylon, man. So this is, I'm gonna read it back. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 60. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon Babylon. Now, hey, Jeremiah may have thought he was talking about ancient Babylon, but this was the future Babylon, man. The daughter of Babylon, which is America.
Oh, you know what else is heavy about that is when you go to the previous chapter, you read it from Jeremiah 51, right?
51, yeah, come.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 33, it speaks about the children of Israel and the children of Judah being oppressed together. And that didn't take place in ancient Babylon.
That's right, come.
All right, so where did the children of Israel, which are you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, and the children of Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel, where were you oppressed together as a nation prior to, or I should say, except for ancient Egypt?
Because when in order for you to understand this mystery, you have to understand the history. Because the 10 tribes, the northern tribes, was already taken out. I'm saying they already fell as a net. I'm saying, you know, as a people, because through Shalmaneser the fifth, that or the fourth, or I think it was the fifth. I'm saying that took them out. That took them out, and they was dispersed. And then they went. Then the time of Hoshea, king of Israel, they got taken down, and then they went over to the western side of the earth. I'm saying the earth, which is the Americas, man. Which is the what they call it the Asherith or the low. I'm saying the
Asherith.
Yeah, Asherith, you know what I'm saying, which is the low valley, you know what I'm saying, which is America. Yeah. So they was really obvious. They're not talking about, see, like the brother said, Judah and Ephraim was oppressed together in the land of our captivity, which is America. So it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because the northern kingdom was not being oppressed by Nebuchadnezzar, man. It was only the southern kingdom, man. So back in Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 60. So Jeremiah wrote in the book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all these words that are written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said to Shariah, when thou comes to Babylon, and shall see, and shall read all these words, then shall thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place, to cut it off. And right now we're reading all the
Yeah, you wanna come on the camera?
right now we're reading all the prophecies that's being spoken about against Jeremiah, against Babylon that Jeremiah spoke, man. So it reads, then shall thou say, O Lord, Yahweh, thou hast spoken against this place, America, man. Babylon, ancient Egypt, spiritually Babylon, spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah, Basra, America, man. Esau's kingdom. Then shall thou say, O Lord Yahweh, thou hast spoken against this place to cut it off, that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but it shall be desolation, desolate forever. And it shall be when thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone upon to it and cast it into the midst of the Euphrates, which is the river which is in the Middle East, man. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink. What Babylon? Not ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon became a province of the Medo-Persian Empire, so it's talking about the new Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, which is America. And it's going to sink, man. How is it going to sink? It's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from the chariots, man. I can tell you how Bashim Yahweh shot for that, man. It says, and thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil, the bad times that are going to come upon this place, which is going to be thermonuclear destruction, that I will bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far are the words of Jeremiah. That's it, bro. To the point, man. America's going to be destroyed, man. Bottom line, man. America's going to be destroyed, and there's nothing you Edomites can do to change that prophecy, man.
We patiently waiting for that. You understand?
Jeremiah 51:11. Make bright the arrows, gather together the shields.
Kind of what I start talking about. Those arrows is what that nuclear weaponry, man. That is, these other nations are ready and prepared to shoot up on the space, man. You understand? You have nations like what? North Korea, Russia, China, India, Pakistan, man. And even some of American allies is going to shoot missiles upon them, man. You understand?
Now, what's meant by make bright the arrows? To make bright the arrows, it means to test the arrows. When you go into that word bright in the Hebrew, you're going to find the Hebrew word barah or bararak. And it basically means to test. And that's what you see across the globe, man. You got North Korea, they're testing their nuclear missiles. You got Russia, they're testing their nuclear missiles. Iran, all these different, countries that have nuclear capabilities, they're actually testing their missiles, man. So that's what's meant by make bright the arrows. You have to go into the word for bright to understand that. You need to test your nuclear arrows, which are the ICBMs.
I got a question before you start that up, know what I'm saying? This is back in 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 12. The earth quakeneth, and the foundation thereof, the sea ariseth from the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord Yahweh, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
That's that nuclear weaponry, man. That we're going into, man. And it's the more side I put it in the spirit of these scientists to create that nuclear weaponry, man. Those ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles, man. That's first they started as what? Atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan during World War II. And then what they are upgraded to nuclear weaponry, man. And even within the nuclear weaponry, you have different grades and levels, man. You have hypersonic, supersonic missiles.
Thermal, it upgrade to thermal nuclear weapons, then hypersonic thermonuclear weapons, man. You got it, bro.
So, hey, you have high levels of nuclear weaponry out there, man. That is going to be shot upon the space when you have nuclear missiles that can reach the shores of America in 20-30 minutes, man. You understand?
Isaiah 54 verse 16.
Woo! Bring the
It
scripture
says,
out.
behold, I have created the smith.
And who is a smith? Smith is a weapon maker, man.
Right.
You understand? That's why you have that company Smith and Wessons for guns, man. You know what I mean? So a smith is somebody who make weapons, man. Who deal with like steel and scientists. Not. It's going to the nuclear scientists, man. That creating these nuclear weapons, man. You understand?
Yeah, like you'd have a blacksmith.
Kind of blacksmith.
You'd have a swordsmith.
You have a Julius Smith too.
A Julius.
You got Julius Smith. Like when you go to Julius store, you got
Yeah,
like
Julius. Yeah, you're right.
But they don't make weapons. We talking about weaponry,
Oh,
man.
weaponry.
But
so-
it makes sense because it's a form of creating.
Yeah, cunt.
So a smith pretty much creates.
Yeah,
not
cunt.
makes things. They shape things.
Yeah, cunt.
So you're right, bro. But you got the swordsmith in this case, right? And the modern day swordsmith would be like the brother said, the scientist.
Scientists, yeah.
No?
That's-
nuclear scientist.
That's creating these nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they always assassinate. That's why the state of Israel is always assassinating the Iranian nuclear scientists, man,
Right.
because they know that Iran going to use their nuclear missiles upon the state of Israel. Man.
Yeah. This is it's
Come
like
on, nuclear scientists is worth more than more than gold, man. You know, I say nuclear scientists for these different nations. Hey, they be kidnapping, assassinating nuclear scientists, man. You know what I mean? Because they're building what? That nuclear weaponry, man. Understand?
that's when you get your Werner von Braun's or Werner von Braun. Then you've got Robert Oppenheimer.
Robert Oppenheimer, Werner von Braun, Jack Parsons,
Jack
and
Parsons.
what's that other guy name? Robert Oppenheimer, Jack Parsons,
Werner von Braun.
Werner von Braun.
You've got the other
It was another one. It's the Four Horsemen. I forgot the other guy's name, man. You know, but it escaped me right now. But I come back.
The Manhattan Project, right?
Yeah, come.
They were the ones to create the atomic, which is the first stage of the nuclear technology.
That would be your modern day smiths. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Kind of bringing forth the issue. What's that issue? The nuclear weapon. Man. You understand? For the work, man. And our work is for destruction, man. To bring in that thermonuclear destruction, man. During that World War III, man. You understand?
It says, and I have created the waster to destroy.
Kind of waste and destroy. What is that? That nuclear weapon, man. That nuclear weapon. That what? Waste is the land that they hit, man. You understand? And that's what's going to happen to the shores
Well,
of America.
the Lord calls the nuclear weapons the waster. You know, because he says he's going to make the land most desolate. He's going to waste the land and make it more desolate. What's going to waste the land? Them wasters, man. That's why that's like another name for the ICBM nuclear missiles. The Lord's waster, man. You know.
That's where you get the term wasteland. You know, a wasteland is a land that's completely and utterly destroyed. Basically made like a desert, which that's what America's going to be. After that nuclear destruction, it's going to be a complete and utter wasteland. 100% desert, man.
And if you ever play video games, when you die, they say wasted,
Yeah.
which means death, man. Done.
Yeah.
You understand? Wasted.
Wasted. That's right.
They show you that in a graphic novel.
Granted, yeah, that's what I think. Wasted. The remote helper.
That's it.
Yeah, Jeremiah 50, verse 8. Jeremiah 51, verse 11. Make bright the arrows,
Now just test your nuclear weapons, man. Get your nuclear weapons ready.
gather the shields. The Lord has risen up the kings, the spirit of the kings of the Medes.
The Medes.
The Medes, Salakia, the Medes for his device.
God, the Medes are what? The Medes, yeah, they were originally the Japhites, man. But this is talking about what? The land of the Medes, man, which is that land of Russia. You understand? That Media, man. You understand? Which is the Russians, man. So the Lord is telling you what? The Russians are getting ready, man. And if you check it out, the Russians have the most advanced nuclear technology upon the planet, man. When you're doing nuclear weaponry. Russians, man.
And it's heavy because it was the Medes that took over ancient Babylon. Right? So what the Lord is doing here, he's multiplying division.
That's right.
As it's written. Go ahead, bro.
You got it, bro.
As it's written in Hosea 12, verse 10, the Lord says he's going to multiply divisions. So that's what he's doing with division. That's been seen by the prophets concerning Babylon the Great. You see, you had the ancient Medes that took over Babylon, and the modern day Medes that the brother broke down, which are these Russians. They're going to take over Babylon the Great, America, man, all over again.
No, because you know you had the conglomerate of nations that took down Babylon, which was the Medo-Persian Empire. So the Medes are the modern day Russians, and the Persians, I'm saying, and the Persians are the modern day Iranians or the Armenians. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right, the spiritual that same spirit that's within them old ancient nations, and the people that's occupying that land right now. The Persians, they occupy that land, but the rightful people that's occupying the rightful people that's occupying the land of Persia, or the Armenians, are the Iranians. They're the people that belong there. But then you have the Russians that's occupying the land of Japheth, and they took that land over. So hey, spiritually they are the Medes. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is going to use that land, the people that's dwelling in that land, to destroy America, which is Babylon, man. Right along with the other assembly of great nations, such as Great Britain, France, Germany. Every nation that have nuclear technology going to blow this place, off the map, man. You got it back, bro. Slack it.
That's where you get the prophecy in Ezekiel the 38th chapter. It speaks about Magog, or Gog and Magog, and his company, and it primarily names Persia, which Persia is like the modern day Iranians, man. So that prophecy is happening all over again, Babylon being overtaken by the Persians and the Medes, or the Medes and the Persians,
The king of the Medes, for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
So the device against Babylon to destroy it, man.
Medes, yes.
So hey, they're gonna destroy. They're looking to destroy Babylon, man. You understand? They're looking to destroy Babylon, which
Just want to ask you, but
Yeah, go ahead.
let's see so many in every corner. I don't know what's going on. It's like preaching.
We're preaching about the Bible.
Oh no, I know. I used to see them, you guys, Maris Van Avenue, 124.
Okay, so you should know then.
Yeah.
You see this. Now you should know. You saw them on Madison Avenue. So now you should know what it's basically about, man. You know?
Spreading the message all over.
So you should know, man. Basically, so you asked the question of what it's about. And then you said that you see it on Madison Avenue. So now you should know what it's about, man.
Yeah.
So it's about preaching the word of the Lord, man. And we are the biblical prophets coming back.
¿Tú lo que en Spanish?
Yeah, you got brothers that speak Spanish over here, you know what I'm saying? But you have to go to upper camp. There's no Spanish-speaking brothers over here. And you got the apostles down the block. And then you have other brothers around the corner. And you got brothers across the street. So, there's no Spanish-speaking brothers over here. But, hey, man,
Yeah.
But pretty much, man, we prophesizing the downfall of America, man. America is going to be destroyed, man. America is ancient Babylon. America is the ancient Roman Empire. The last thing of the Roman Empire coming back to the reincarnation, man.
Also, we're out here to let you know who you are, right? Because you're wearing a cap right now that says Dominican. But according to the Bible, according to the scriptures, you're not Dominican. That's not a true nationality.
That's a white man's last name.
Your nationality is you're a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Simeon. That's your tribe of the nation of Israel. So you're not a Dominican, you're not Latino, you're Israelite of the tribe of Simeon.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. That word Dominican, go back to Santo Domingo, which is a white man that conquered you and put you on slavery. That's what that name go back to. So you call yourself the name of a white man that killed off your family members, killed off your ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And then named that part of the land he conquered his name, Santo Domingo, which is not that people. Because that then go back to a white man, a conqueror, one of the conquistadors. Now, you heard of the conquistadors, right?
Yeah, we're gonna continue.
Come. So we're gonna
what you got. You can edify.
Yeah, come. Yeah, but come. You're right. Right. Right, come.
Good luck.
Yeah.
got something?
You need a luck, not me.
Alright, so let's go back to Isaiah 54 and verse 17. It says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper."
God, so hey, that's talking about what the prophets, man. So Esau have his different devices. That's what the scripture say. We are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Esau try to chop us up, man. You understand? Try to call us domestic terrorists. You know what I mean? Trying to say, we out here, we out here beating up people, man. You know what I mean? We's rapists. They're trying to say all the time about madness against us. We hate women. You know what I mean? They try to get us locked up, try to get us caught up. But hey, man, I said the scripture said, no weapon formed against us. It's gonna prosper, man. You understand?
Keep speaking.
So no way, hey. So hey, man, we brought in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You understand? And we have the hedge.
2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
So all the devices, all the tactics that Esau tried to demonize the truth, try to demonize the Hebrew Israelites, hey, you just promoting Yahweh Hashem Yahushai more, man. Understand? Like they have been saying, no publicity, is bad publicity. You know what I mean? So basically, all the devices that you try to work against us is going to backfire, because it's only going to lead to what? The expansion of this truth, man. To more people knowing that the Israelites, to more people coming back to the heritage, to more people acknowledging Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Shalom, you still have more?
I got something real quick.
Bring it out, bro.
Yeah, this 2nd Ezra 6, and I started 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
Cancel evil. And who's a representation of evil right now? Esau Edom. Esau Edom is a representation of evil right now. And he's going to be put out. He's promoting what? Homosexuality. He's promoting women over men. You know what I mean? Adultery, murder, man. You understand? Wickedness, man. Witchcraft, idolatry. You name it, man. You name it evil, he's a pushing. That's why they call this time what the land of free. That's where you can do whatever you want to.
Matthew 24 verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Kind of what's iniquity, sin, man. Wickedness, man. So the love of many shall wax cold, man. That's why people don't have no regard for other people, man. I mean, you see somebody getting killed, man, they quickly report it and post it on the internet and laugh, man. You know what I mean? And it's only gonna get worse and worse, man. Because what you have economic austerity measures coming, man. People hungry, people hurting, people without a job, people need money, people can't pay the rent.
What Biden gonna do? Biden gonna strip. Hey man, you talk to a mad, you talk to a senseless madman, man, bug out. Not even a bug out, man. Biden, you talk to a Alzheimer like a what you call it, spirit step hold of the, hey, you gonna do something strict. Hey, this man you pass executive order faster than Trump, man. Most of you niggers not even know what a third world country is. What is a federal reserve, but you don't know nothing about economics, man. And this money come up on quick. You know what I mean? Go ahead,
Can't, yeah, man. So austerity measures is coming, man. Tough turn is coming, man. Hell is coming, man. You understand? And most of you people, man, like 1 Thessalonians 5 and 2 say, hey, it's going to come upon you like a thief in the night, man. You know what I mean? It's hell. You know what I mean? This martial art is coming. You know what I mean? This economic collapse is going to catch a lot of people unawares, man. Because you think things are going to go back to normal. You think Joe Biden is going to save you. But man. You know what I mean? Things are only going to intensify for the worse, man.
This money of Salaki there. This money of, hey man. Him, like I say, man, the man got an Alzheimer, like, hey, the most I work with him, man, because, hey, he can put off like Iran like down at the year, man. You know what I mean? Say, yo, I'm gonna bomb Iran next 6 months. And then the next morning, wake up, him just flip off, man. Yeah, that's the type of disease, man. It flip you out, man. Anytime you can flip off, wait, you say you're gonna do things something today, and then an hour from now, you do it, man. So, hey, you niggers don't research and don't really know what up is. Go ahead,
Like the brother said, man, anytime now, hey, things gonna jump off, man. You understand?
So, this is Romans 13 and 11. It says, in that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake from
So
sleep.
knowing that the time, what's the times, man? The time of hell is upon us, man. So knowing that it's high time to what? Awake or asleep, man. Stop calling yourself African American. Stop calling yourself a Dominican. Stop calling yourself a Puerto Rican. Stop calling yourself a Jamaican. Stop calling yourself a nigger. Stop calling yourself whatever by what, an Argentinian, a Brazilian, you know what I mean, a Mexican, man. You are Hebrew Israelite, you know what I mean, from the respective tribe. Whether you be from the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Naphtali, the tribe of Issachar. Yeah, come. It's high time to awake, man, but ultimately we know that what? Only the elect is going to awake. You know?
It says, so like, yeah, that's it. It says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Constantly, the salvation is nearer than when we believe, man. Like when we say anytime now, man, all they're taking is one thing, one domino to fall. They're going to lead all the dominoes to all the dominoes to fall, same way, man. All the prophecies to come to pass quickly, man. You know what I mean? Anytime now, man. You know what I mean? Like the brother said, hey, Joe Biden can wake up tomorrow and decide to bomb Iran, man. They need to what?
Wait. He already hit
Syria.
Syria, you know what I'm saying? With
Some
so
Iranian prophet.
he gotta get his feet wet, you know what I'm saying? They told him to do that, man. He was told to do that. Because Joe Biden don't know what the hell is going on, man. You say he be talking, he be like,
Yeah.
yo, dude be bugging. You see him, right? You be seeing him, right? He be stuttering, he be closing his eyes like, you know, forget what we have to say. Somebody gotta warn him, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, somebody gotta put him back to remembrance. He's all bugged out, so he was told to do that, man.
Stir up his pure mind.
Yeah. Yo, this dude is bugged out, man. So he was told to strike Syria, you know what I'm saying? The Iranian targets in Syria, man. That's continuing what Barack Obama started, man. Just like out of nowhere, this guy, when he was the president, Donald Trump, he started striking, hitting Syria, hitting targets in Syria, you know, out of nowhere, man. Remember the time those cruise missiles that was shooting them? Come on, man. So, hey, it's a never ending, and if you can't see these presidents are puppets for the international bankers, there's something wrong with you, man. Something is seriously wrong with you, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, you got another piece of it? You got it?
Ezekiel 3:17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Son of man, referring to what? This is what? Ezekiel?
Yeah, Ezekiel
That's
3:17.
Ezekiel, but that's a common terminology we used to use the prophets, son of man. So hey, we are watchmen, you know, we are watchmen unto what the children of Israel said. So we forewarning you, man. We watching, we telling you what. Hey, World War III on the horizon, man. Hey, the RFID chip is coming, is at the doorstep, man. You know what I mean? Beware of the COVID vaccine. You know what I mean? Beware of the economic collapse, man. You understand? Beware of what racial tensions, class divisions, man. You know what I mean? Civil unrest, uproars of the people. You know what I mean? Beware of these false leaders, man. You know what I mean? Whether it will be politicians or false leaders among Israel, man. You understand?
That's right.
So beware, man. Be on your watch, man. Be on your P's and your Q's, man. And listen. Right up?
It says, therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Not to hear the word and his mouth and give them warning, man. You understand? And that's what we do. We give you warning, man. From the directive of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. We're giving you warning of all the things that we aforementioned, man. All the hell that is to come, man. So, hey, you wouldn't be caught unawares, man. You wouldn't be caught lacking as Jake said, man. You understand?
Isaiah 62 verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls.
Kind of rules as watchmen, the prophets, man. You know what I mean? Precisely the prophets of great nation from the apostles on down and like-minded men. You understand? Men who operated under the 100% truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, who rolling in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, not doing their own thing, but operating under the righteousness of the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Those are the watchmen, man. He's telling you what? Hey, the chip is coming, the chip is coming. Martial law is coming, man. Economic disaster is coming, man. Prepare your mind, man. Get in these scriptures, man. Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. What is that wisdom and knowledge? The truth of the scriptures, man.
That's right.
Knowing that, hey, all of this is happening for the purposes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, for the kingdom of heaven to come to pass, man. These things must come to pass. These prophecies must come to pass. You understand? Right up?
I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night, he that make mention of the Lord kept not silence.
Council, we never hold our peace day nor night, man. And what is one of the main ways we do that? Through the internet, through the YouTube, man. Because any time of the day or night, you can log on to the YouTube and hear the voice of the prophets prophesying, man. You understand? So we not holding our peace day nor night, man. What up?
And give him no rest till he establish an eye until he establish and give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
God, so we ain't giving we ain't giving the rest, man. We ain't giving the Most High no rest until what he brings us right. You know what I mean? That's why we're pushing it in front of the word. And also we ain't giving Esau no rest until the Most High establishes Jerusalem as a priest in the earth, as the rightful rulers of the planet. You understand? So we're pushing that, we're pushing heavy, man, for the Most High to establish Jerusalem back as a praise in the earth once and for all. You understand?
Habakkuk 2 and 1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower.
So as you see, we're going into all these subjects about watching, man. Watching, man. That's what it's called. Always on the watch, man. Be circumspect, man. You understand? Because, hey, keep your head on a swivel, man. Because anytime you do something, you can run down this thing. That's how shit could jump off. Shit could hit the fan, man. Anytime now, man. So be ready, man. You know what I mean? Be ready to be what? Pilgrims upon the earth, man. You understand? Go ahead up.
It says, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved.
Hey, we ready, man. We ready for what the Most High gonna make happen, man. You know what I mean? Ready for what the Most High to make this, shut off the internet. Man. Ready for him to what? EMP attacks to happen, man. Ready for anything, man. You understand?
Hey, it's so spiritual, man, because hey, this money I work with 11, man. You know what I mean? Every time I extend the benefits, it use 11. March 11, April 11. If you read between the lines, when you know so this money I plan on next 9/11. It can be an EMP, it can be a banking outage. You know what I mean? And, hey, gold or silver ain't gonna save you on the side. They're gonna use it, yes, you know, good for habit, as a defense here way. But hey, gold or silver, man, all of that, man, ain't gonna save, because when the bank's out and the food out, you know what I mean? They're gonna be medicine survival of the fittest, man. You know what I mean? We're going in a time of survival. The apostles ever talk about the woods, man. You know what I mean? Man up and be a military champion, man. Because a woman ain't gonna come into the woods with you, man. You know, it's gonna be a rough time, man. That's why the scripture go back and say, if it's possible, if those that have wife, don't be as them that don't have none, man. Because, hey, we're going to some strictly heavy military time, man. Why you think these white people buy military equipment? Because they ain't going in on no dantis, no soft time, man. We are going in rough times, man. Go ahead,
Back in Habakkuk 2 and 2, the Lord Yahweh Shah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
These are the visions that we're telling you about, man. These prophecies. And we're making them plain upon tables, and we're breaking them down to you. We're breaking down what the RFID chip, the mark of the beast. We're breaking down what? The 12 tribes, man. We're breaking down what? World War III. The end times, man.
It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Constantly, every prophecy is set for an appointed time, man. Whenever the Most High Yahweh shall sees fit for that prophecy to come to pass, man. Hey, that's not an appointed time, man. You understand, brother?
It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
At the end it shall speak and not lie, man. And the scripture said that Most High is not a man that he should lie, man. You understand? So right now, how is the prophecy speaking? It's coming to pass. It's being manifested. You understand? The chip is being manifested. The racial division is being manifested. World War III is being manifested. You understand?
I want to say something too, that, through the spirit probably how about Shah, the Lord, revealed his secrets into the service of the prophets. We have the top secret, which is prophecy. And through the spirit of the Lord, we're those vessels, that's bringing this truth into existence. So you people, all right, through the throughout the world, you have to admit that great millstones don't the apostles on down have the 100% truth. All right, because we deal with the prophecies and nobody cares. So it says, though it tarry, wait for it.
So even though it might seem it's taking a little while, man, you waiting, and still wait for it, man. Because what else you gonna do? We're gonna go back into the world, man. This wicked, infested, demonic world, man. There ain't nothing out there for you in this world, man. As a man striving after righteousness. So just wait, man. Be patient. That's why the scriptures say what? In patience, possessing your souls, man. So we patiently waiting for the prophecies of Yahweh Shai to come to pass, and ultimately for the second coming of Yahweh Shai. You understand?
It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come.
It will surely come, man. It will surely come, man. So even though it seems like it's tarrying, you're waiting a minute, man. You understand? That's why a lot of those jakes back in the year 2000 fell out, man. Because they didn't have that patience. You understand? Even though it tarry, wait for it, for it shall surely come.
It will not tarry.
It will not tarry, God. So it's still coming, man. You know what I mean? Even though it seems like it's taking a minute, it really ain't taking a minute, man. Because when the kingdom comes, we're going to be in the kingdom forever, man, for eternity, man. So we could have wait another umpteen years, man, because we're going to be in the kingdom forever, man.
Luke 21 verse 19. In your patience,
Their souls.
in your patience possess your soul.
God, so a main virtue about this truth is about patience, man. You understand? Even in the world they say what patience is a virtue, man. And that's a main aspect of the truth, man. And I mean that's why a lot of men fall out, because they lack that patience, man. The temptation of the world, man, overtake them, man. Because they see people in the world making this move, that move, you know what I mean? Making money, you know what I mean? Doing this, doing that. And they're like, man, Yahweh Shai take it too long, man. So what, they go back into the world?
There's nothing wrong with making money, but like the end of the day, look past the picture, what gonna happen, man. The scriptures, riches increase, set that your heart open. That's why the prophets known as visionary. You know what I mean? All of my family members, them can't see. You know what I mean? They can't, all I try to tell them, most of my close friends out in the world, them can't see America destroyed, man. Them can't see troops in the street and the famine. And the most I have to wait you to see that, man.
Like
you know what I mean?
You say a key word, man. Visionary, man.
Hey, you real quick, you right about that, bro. There's no way of making money because money is a defense. That's how you that's how you pay your bills. But you use the society, don't abuse it. That's what it is, man. You make your money, that's it. You make your daily bread. That's what we pray for. Give us this day our daily bread. We pray for our daily bread. Money's a defense. There's nothing wrong with making money, bro. You're right about that, bro.
God, you said a key word, man. Visionary, man. And even the Eastern world to deal with visionary, man. Because visionary, being a visionary is how you set up businesses, man. It's how you make money in the stock market, man. By being a visionary.
Them say visionary are one of the top number one fear, man. You know what I mean? And we see what the most ever do to this place, man. We see how we can get a woman at this time or some like vanity, man, and it disappear quick, man. We see in a twinkling of a moment that can disappear quick from you, man. So we store up the treasures in the heaven, man. You know what I mean? We pray. That's what we are doing now, up in the heavens.
Visionary see what? This kingdom is temporary, man. But the kingdom to come is eternal.
This is Proverbs 29 verse 18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
That's right.
So where there is no vision, the people perish. Right? Where there is no vision, the people perish. And that's why it's so important for us brothers to come out here on the highways and byways and break down the vision, man. Make it plain unto the people, as it says in the book of Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Right? Bring that out, Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Are you ready already? Let's bring it out again.
I make you nervous?
Habakkuk 2, straight to the point.
Yeah.
Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time.
Yeah, so the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision is speaking about the visions that our forefathers saw in the ancient days, man. And that it recorded in the Bible for our sakes. Right? As it says in the book of, get that real quick, Revelation 1 and verse 1. It says that the vision is yet for an appointed time. That time is the time that we're living in right now, man, where the Lord is bringing about his visions. He's manifesting the visions that the ancient prophets saw in the days of old, right now as we speak. But they're really for the elect of Israel to understand, man. Okay? Go that in Revelation 1.
Revelation 1,
Verse 1.
Revelation 1, the revelation of Yahushua which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servant the things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and sanctified it by his angel unto his servant John,
You know?
who, verse 2, who bear record of the witness.
So it's really for the servants, right? The vision that the Apostle John saw, but it's not just the Apostle John, it's all the prophets. Their visions is really for the sake of the elect, man. Right? So the time that we're living in right now, we can understand what's going on in our reality, so to speak, in our predicament. So it said, where there is no vision, the people perish. Now when you read in Habakkuk 2 verse 3, it says the vision is yet for an appointed time. What vision is that speaking about? The prophecies that we read about in the Bible, man. They're all set for an appointed time. And the main vision that we're looking out for, or I should say the main prophecy that we're looking out for is what? The fulfillment of Revelation 13 and 16 concerning the mark of the beast. Right? Concerning Esau, Edom bringing about his new world order and trying to enslave the masses of people by way of an implantable microchip. That's set for an appointed time. And we can see that taking place, man. We're so close to that vision being fulfilled, it's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, there's actually people out there across the world that actually already have the mark of the beast. But it's just not on a global level yet. Right? It's not really prevalent yet. You want to say something?
Vaccine, to speak about the vaccine to upcoming.
Yeah, the vaccine plays a part, but that's not the mark of the beast. That's a part of, you know, this beast system.
Gradualism.
Yeah, that's the part of the gradualism, like the brother said. And the pestilence too. But the mark itself is the implantable microchip, man. And that's what we're out here to warn our people about and to break it down for them, man. Because whoever takes that chip, you're finished. There's no turning back. You can't take the chip out. You're going to be destroyed by way of thermonuclear fire, according to the vision that Apostle John saw, man. Get that in Revelation 14. You get it?
This
I promise.
No.
What's that, bro?
Because what you were saying is this is in Haggai,
Right.
chapter 2, verse 14. Real quick,
Huh?
because we live in the land of Babylon, and these unjust laws, these draconian laws that's being passed, and these laws that's favoring the alphabet people, you know, it says, it reads, then answered Haggai and said, so is the people, and so is this nation before me. Because these people, so is the king, so is these people. As the king, so is the people. See, what the king decreed is what the people are going to go by. So they bring out these unjust laws that Moors could do this, Moors could do that, the alphabet people could do this, alphabet people could do that. And these people are following behind the ways of men. So it reads, it says, then said Haggai, then asked Haggai and said, so is the people, and so is this nation before me, saith the Lord Yahweh, and so is every work of their hands, and that which they offer, there is unclean. Because, amen, everything that this Edomite push out is contrary to the law, such commandments of the Most High, man. And they will make you unclean to the fullest, man. What's a part of being unclean, man? Eating swine's flesh, eating abominable food such as shrimps, lobsters, crabs, you know, doing that which is evil in the eyes of the Most High, man. so is the king, so is the people, so is the people, so is the nation, man.
Yeah, worshipping other gods is also
Making you
part of
unclean.
the uncleanliness of our people, man. You know, and our people are in a very dirty, vile, disgusting state. And like the other brother brought out, that's because Esau, as a matter of fact, since I said that, get Isaiah 32 and start at verse 7, right? The vile man.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 7. The instruments
No, 6.
for the vile person will speak villainy.
Read it again.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 6.
6, man.
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity.
Yeah, actually, what did it say in verse 5?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 32, verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
There you go. The vile person shall no more be called liberal.
That's right.
Who's that vile person speaking about? He's speaking about the man of sin. He's the man that has transgressed every law in the Holy Bible. And there's plenty of examples that we can give you. We gave you the example of homosexuality, all right? Transgenderism, putting a woman over a man. That's all vile in the sight of Yahweh Shema Shai. Yet in this world, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is looked at as being a righteous person or a liberal person. How can he be liberal when you think about what Esau done to our people, right? You so blacks, Latinos, and Americans. There's nothing liberal about him, man. All right, how he took over the Americas, primarily North America. There was nothing liberal about that. How he enslaved the southern kingdom of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, bringing them on cargo slave ships, putting a yoke of iron around our neck, which he done onto the northern kingdom too. There was nothing liberal about that, man. Okay? So it says the vile person shall no more be called liberal. No, now we're calling him for what he is, which is the wicked. As it says in the book of Malachi 1 verse 4. They shall call them the borders of wickedness, man. And that's what we're out here doing, exposing Esau for who he is. That vile, wicked man. Or that vile, wicked nation, man. The Edomites. Okay, go ahead, bro.
For the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the child said to be bountiful.
Nor the child said to be bountiful. Read on.
Verse 6.
And a child is a scoundrel. Look it up.
A base person.
A very base person. That's who's ruling this world, man. The basis of men. So you Edomites.
Dirty, rotten scoundrels.
That's what they use. That's the word they use out there in the outback in Australia.
Yeah.
They call them scoundrels. No, it's a low, vile person.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Back during the time of King George III,
Yeah.
he kicked out Edomites, and they went to two places, man. They went to they went to America and they went to Australia.
Yeah.
So them people out there in Australia, they are descendants of them wicked ass people that was kicked out of Great Britain, you know what I'm saying? For committing all kind of sorceries and committing all kind of wicked acts, you know what I'm saying? Homosexuality, trying to bring forth a new agenda. They got kicked out of that land. And they went to two places. They went to America and they went to the shores of Australia.
Yeah.
The outback.
Yeah.
The mates.
I'm in New Zealand.
Out there in New Zealand.
Good.
Oh, South Africa too.
Yeah,
South
good.
Africa.
Yeah. Cecil B. Mills with the not Cecil B. Mills, what's his name again? Cecil B. Mills made the Ten Commandments to say his name was
CCB or D.
Cecil Rhodes.
Yo, Cecil Rhodes. I'm saying I said Cecil B. Mills. CCB Mills was the director of the Ten Commandments, man. Yo.
No, that's Cecil B. DeMills.
Yeah, B. DeMills, yeah. But Cecil Rhodes was the Knights of the Round Table that was given the area in Africa where they was the Diamond District, where they took over the Diamond District, you know what I'm saying, was killing. That's how the movie Blood Diamond was about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Blood Diamonds.